Welcome students, I am Ravi Shankar. So let us continue the problems in this video. Already we have completed up to the problem number 11 and still we are having three more problems, 12, 13 and 14. I think 3 or 4 more problems we are having. So here, now let us start with the problem number 12. What is that problem number 12? So I will be going through it. You take your book and follow. An electron and a proton are allowed to fall through the separation between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor of voltage 5 volt and the separating distance h is equal to 1 millimeter as shown in the figure. See, three concepts are being asked. One, calculate the time of flight for both electron and the proton. Suppose if a neutron is allowed to fall, what is the time of flight? Among the three, which one will reach the bottom first? So the time which is taking the least is considered to be reaching the bottom first. What are the given things? See, an electron and proton are allowed to fall through a separation between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor of voltage 5 volt. So you are having two plates which are kept parallel to each other, where one end you are having a negative charge and the other end you are having what? The other end you are having the positive charge. So in between the two plates, the potential difference available V is equal to 5 volt. And the distance of separation, they have given that distance of separation as h, which is equal to 1 millimeter. If it is 1 millimeter, then I can write it out as 10 to the power of minus 3 volt, minus 3 meters, not volt, 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. See here, they are taking an electron. An electron is made to move from or made to fall through this plate, negative plate to positive plate. For that, what is the time of flight they have asked? Similarly, the second diagram, they are taking the positive charge in the upper plate and the negative charge in the lower plate. So in between the two plates, again, the potential difference or potential available is 5 volt. And the distance of separation h is equal to 1 millimeter, or I can write it out as 10 power minus 3 meter. The distance of separation that is taken to be h. Here they are taking a proton, so a positively charged body moving from the plate, top plate or upper plate to the bottom plate. What is the time of flight for proton? That is also asked. Then the third one, a chargeless particle neutron is made to fall. So the free fall, because the neutron is not having any charge, so it is unaffected both by negative and the positive charges. So when it is falling freely, they are asking what is the time of flight. These are the three questions asked in this problem. And what they have also given mass of proton is equal to, they have given mass of proton is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilogram. This mass of proton, or you can consider this as mass of neutron, for both the same value. Then mass of electron, m suffix e, is considered to be 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilogram. And you are asked to take the acceleration due to gravity as g, 10 meter per second square. So let us calculate first of all the electrical field available in between the two plates. So first of all, let us calculate electrical field between the two plates, between the plates. Electrical field, let us consider it as E, given by the formula potential difference divided by distance. Potential difference is 5 volt. Distance is 1 millimeter, that is 10 power minus 3 meter. Or I can write 5 into 10 to the power of 3 volt per meter, or 5000 volt per meter. Or I can write this as 5000 volt per meter. What are the things asked? The first one asked is, you are asked to calculate time of flight, that is time taken for that electron to reach from one plate to another plate. Time of flight for electron. See, in order to calculate the time of flight for that electron, we know the distance travel. Initially, it is at rest. So, initial velocity we know. We know the force acting on it. We can calculate the force acting on the electron by the electrical field. So, acceleration can be calculated. So, use the formula which is relating u, v and s, t in equations of motion. So, we know that according to equations of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square. Take this as equation number 1. Here instead of s, I can consider, see here, I can write instead of s, I can consider h. Initial velocity u equal to 0. I am writing t is equal to time of flight, isn't it? I am writing it as time of flight for electron. So I am writing te. How much I have to calculate? And what is the acceleration? What is acceleration? Acceleration, I am saying it as what? Acceleration, I am saying it as. So here we have to calculate the acceleration. What is acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but force divided by mass. Inside the electrical field, the electrons are in motion. So the force on the electron due to the electrical field is E into E. Divided by what? Divided by m. M is mass of the electron. So we can calculate, or we know the acceleration also. So you take this and substitute in equation 1. What will be the answer then? See, instead of s, you can put h. H is equal to u becomes 0. So the first term becomes 0 plus half into. Instead of a, I can write e into e divided by m into t e square. I am in need of TE, so I am calculating. So TE is equal to, when I am taking this to the other side, I will be writing square root of, see 2m to be taken to the numerator. So 2h, then m, isn't it? 2hm. M is mass of the electron. Okay, 2hme divided by. What is the divided by? I have to take this EE, electrical field, and the charge of the electron. On simplifying this, you can able to get the time of flight for the electron to reach from one plate to another plate. How it is, how we can able to do that. See, come on, substitute. What will be your answer then? TE is equal to square root of, what is 2? 2 is 2. What is h? H means the distance between the two plates. It is given as 1 millimeter, 10 to the power of minus 3. What is mass of one electron? Mass of one electron is 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilogram. Whole divided by the force. Electrical field into E. Electrical field I have calculated as 5000 multiplied with E. Charge of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. On simplifying, you will be getting the answer as square root of 18.2 divided by 8 into 10 to the power of minus 18. So on simplifying this, you can get the answer as 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds. So this can be written as 1.5 nanoseconds as the time of flight for the electron to travel from the upper plate to the lower plate. So this is the first concept that we have calculated, that is the time of flight for the electron. Same process, similar process we can apply it for calculating the time of flight for proton. So let us consider the second concept. What is the second one? We are going to consider the time of flight. The time of flight for proton. So let us consider the time of flight for proton as Tp. How you can able to calculate? You proceed in the same manner as that you have done it in the previous case. See, we know that. I can write again. We know that S is equal to ut plus half at square. So here I can write what here? S is equal to the distance traveled h. Initial velocity u equal to 0. Time t is equal to time of flight tf. What is the value of acceleration? I can consider the same formula. What is acceleration? Acceleration is equal to force acting on the proton divided by mass of the proton. The charged particle kept inside the electrical field will experience a force. So the force experienced by the proton is E into charge of proton, EP, divided by mass of proton. Now you take all these values and substitute in this equation for S. So I'm substituting, instead of S, I can consider H. Instead of U, I will be putting 0. So the first term will vanish, plus half into, what is A? A is acceleration, force, E into EP, electrical field into charge of the proton, divided by the mass of the proton multiplied with Tp square. Now, on simplifying this, you can calculate Tp, or I can write Tp square is equal to cross multiply 2 h mass of proton divided by the electrical field E into charge of proton. Now you can substitute here. What is Tp then? Tp is square root of 2 into, what is h? H, I can write it out as 1 millimeter, 10 power minus 3 meter into. What is mass of proton? Mass of proton is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilogram, whole divided by, what is the electrical field? It is 5000 volt per meter into, what is EP? Charge of one proton, which is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Simplify. What will be the answer? See, on simplifying, you will be getting it as root of, see, this 10 power minus 19, 1.6, all will get cancelled, and you will be getting it as 2 divided by 5 into 10 power minus 18. So, on simplifying this, time period or time of flight for proton is 0.632 into 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds, which is 0.632 nanoseconds as the answer. This is the time of flight for the protons to travel from what? To travel from one plate to another plate. See, we have calculated the time of flight for the electron in the previous case, and the time of flight for the electron in the previous case is 1.5 nanosecond, and time of flight for proton is 0.632 nanoseconds. Then the third one, what is the time of flight for what? What is the time of flight for the neutron? So the third concept, let us consider time of flight for neutron. Time of flight for neutron. What is the time of flight for neutron? See, we can say, since the neutron is chargeless. Since neutron is taken to be chargeless, we can consider that the neutron, the fall of neutron or the falling of neutron is unaffected by electric field. So fall of neutron is taken as free fall. Fall of neutron can be taken as free fall. If it is free fall, then you can use the same formula. S is equal to ut plus half at square. See here, S is equal to h. For free fall, u equal to 0. Time taken, t is equal to tn. Then what is A, acceleration? Acceleration A is equal to F divided by m. See, what is F? The force is nothing but mass into acceleration due to gravity divided by mass. So you can consider acceleration is equal to what? Acceleration is equal to g. Now you take these values and substitute. So instead of Sn, I can consider what? Instead of S, I can consider h. Instead of u, I can consider 0. Plus I can write half into g into tn square. So you simplify, what is tn square then? Tn square is equal to 2h divided by g. So how I can write? Therefore, I can write tn is equal to root of 2h divided by g. So what is tn then? Tn will be then equal to root of 2 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 10. See, when you are taking this numerator, it is 10 power minus 4. I can write it out as 10 power minus 2 after taking root. What is the value of root 2? It is 1.414. So what is that? So 414 into 10 to the power of minus 2 seconds. So what is the value for Tn? That is time taken for neutron. So time of flight for the neutron, or time taken for the neutron to flow from the first upper plate to lower plate, is given as 1.414 into 10 to the power of minus 2 seconds as the answer. Now you compare. See, because what is the next question it is asked? What is the next question it is asked means, see, it was considered to be, or you can write this also in nanoseconds or milliseconds, whatever may be. See, what is the next one it is asked? The next one it is asked is, which one will reach the lower plate faster? See, among three, which one will reach the bottom first? Which one will reach the bottom first? Out of the three, either electron or proton or neutron, which one will reach the bottom first means the particle which is having the least time of flight, isn't it? The particle which is having the least time of flight will reach the ground faster. So which one is having the least time of flight? You just take it out. So from the above result, we have calculated the time of flight for electron, time of flight for proton, and time of flight for neutron. Time of flight for electron is considered to be 1.5 nanoseconds. Then when you are considering time of flight for proton, it is considered to be what? It is considered to be 0.632 nanosecond. And when you are considering for time of flight for what? Time of flight for neutron, then you can say it out as, say, 1.414 into 10 power minus 2 seconds, or you can write 14.14 into 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds, or you can say 14.14 milliseconds. So we can say it out as 14.14 millisecond. Out of these three, which one is having the least amount of time? The time flight for proton is considered to be the least. So proton will reach the lower plate first, compared to the other two. Compared with what? Compared with the neutron and electron. Compared with the neutron and electron. This is what we are taking it as the final answer. Any difficulty? The difficulty, if you are having any difficulty, you just ask in the inbox, I will clarify. So let us move on to the next problem, problem number 13. Come on, take your book and follow the problem while I am reading. During a thunderstorm, the movement of water molecules with the clouds creates a friction, partially causing the bottom part of the clouds to become negatively charged. This implies that the bottom of the cloud and the ground act as the parallel plate capacitor. If the electrical field between the cloud and the ground exceeds the dielectric breakdown of air, that is the electrical field available in between the cloud and the ground, is 3 into 10 to the power of 6 volts per meter, the lightning occurs. If the bottom part of the cloud is 1000 meters above the ground, determine the electric potential difference that exists between the cloud and the ground. First question. The second one, in a typical lightning phenomenon, around 25 coulomb of electrons are transferred from cloud to ground. How much electrostatic potential energy is transferred to the ground? Let us consider the first concept. See, when they are giving the data, say during a thunderstorm, the movement of the water molecules in the cloud creates a friction, partially causing the bottom part of the clouds become negatively charged. That is the process. Now, the distance between the cloud and the ground, that acts as the parallel plate capacitor, and the maximum amount of electrical field available, that is Emax. The value of Emax is considered to be 3 into 10 to the power of 6 volts per meter. At this electrical field, lightning will occur because you can able to get the air atoms will get broken down. The question asks this: if the bottom part of the cloud is 1000 meters above the ground, so the distance between the cloud and the ground is considered to be 1000 meters. Determine the electrostatic potential difference. You are asked to calculate V that exists between the cloud and the ground. Simple concept. We know the relationship between the electrical field and the potential difference, which can be written as E is equal to V divided by D. So therefore, what is the value of V? So therefore, the value of V is equal to E into D. What is E? It is 3 into 10 to the power of 6. Multiplied with what? Multiplied with the distance. Distance is 1000 meters. So I can write 10 to the power of 3. So the potential difference between the cloud and the ground surface is taken to be 3 into 10 to the power of 9 volts. So we have calculated the potential difference between the ground and the cloud. Then this is the first option. First subdivision asked. What is the second subdivision asked? In a typical lightning phenomenon, around 25 coulomb of charge is, or 25 coulomb of electrons are transferred from cloud to ground. So the amount of charge transferred, let us consider it as Q, which is considered to be 25 coulomb. Then, how much electrostatic potential energy is transferred to the ground? So epsilon is being asked. As we know, potential energy is equal to potential difference multiplied with the charge moved. So what is the potential difference? Potential difference developed is 3 into 10 to the power of 9. Multiplied it with what? Multiplied it with the 25 coulomb. So on multiplying, what will be your answer? You will be getting it as 75 into 10 to the power of 9 joules is the answer. This is the potential energy that was being required or stored in order to, or when 25 coulomb of charge is brought from the cloud to the ground. This is considered to be the option, or this is considered to be the solution for the problem number 13. Problem appears to be a bigger problem, but the solution is very simple. Still, we are having 2 more problems, and that 2 more problems we'll discuss in the next video, because the next problem is a longer problem. So it has to consume a longer time. So we will see it in the next video. Until then, goodbye and thank you from Ravi Shankar.